Hey everyone. Wow. This chapter was probably my favorite so far, which every chapter of Poppy Playtime has, in my opinion, been better than the last. Every new one is my new favorite one. But this chapter just blew everything out of the water, and oh my gosh. I was thinking, like a lot of people were, this chapter was going to be the end completely. We were going to be done after this. But nope, we are still going with this story. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for how the rest of this is going to go. And so let's just get straight into it. So the chapter kicks off, and just like where chapter 4 left off, Huggy is right outside the door in that little greenhouse area, and he's trying to break through, which he does. And we have a good old fashioned chase scene right at the beginning of the game. Just like chapter 1, Huggy's chasing us, and we have to escape him. And he's chasing us for a good while. There are multiple times where you think you've escaped him, and no, he comes back. But, yeah, we get chased by Huggy for a little while, and then we go to this area where a lot of the wrong side animals are living, which is a type of toy, kind of like those octopus plush things where like you fold it the other way depending on what mood you're in or whatever. They're kind of like that, where you can you have kind of two toys in one in a way, but and it's there where we meet Giblet. I think it's Giblet, or it might be Giblet. I think it's Giblet though, but and he is friends with Poppy, and he helps us out, helps us stay away from the prototype, and him and Chum Chompkins, I had to write this down because I couldn't remember his name, but Chum Chompkins, they help us for a little bit throughout the chapter, and for the most part, the chapter is just classic Poppy Playtime puzzles and platforming and all this stuff with the grab pack. We see Braun for a little bit. Huggy, actually, at the end of our chase with Huggy, he steals our grab pack, and we find it later in Braun's mouth, like an actual full-sized Braun, which is super cool. But we have to go retrieve our grab pack from Braun, which was super cool to see a living Braun toy, kind of like. I mean, I'm assuming he's one of the bigger bodies, but then later in the chapter, we get to meet another new character, Lily Lovebraids, and she is crazy. She is absolutely nuts, which I know she's meant to be, but she might be next to Mommy. She might be Mommy Longlegs. She might be one of the just most unhinged, crazy characters we've had in this franchise so far. Because, man, she's a psychopath. But it's revealed that she has been keeping Poppy and Kissy Missy in a cell under her little, like, dollhouse area. And so we try to escape from her, and, like, we free Poppy and Mom and Kissy, and we try to escape from her, but she catches us, and we're forced into a tea party where her special guest is arriving. And as she's sitting there mocking Poppy and all this fun stuff, we find out who that special guest is, and we see these giant mechanical hands open up a wall, and out pops the full reveal of the prototype. I've been waiting for so long to see what the prototype looks like, and he's a jester, which is super cool. I love notice the love for jesters in media recently. Like, we got Sun and Moon with FNAF, Pomni with Digital Circus, and now we have the prototype, who's this giant jester spider monster with Kissy, Huggy, and Mommy Longlegs' arms sticking out of like his torso. But he's super creepy, and he's so intimidating. He is. I did not know. I was not expecting what he was. I wasn't expecting him to look like anything in particular. But man, they blew it out of the park with this character design. He is so intimidating and so creepy. I mean, something that I've loved about Poppy Playtime is that I still love FNAF more. I very much do. It was my first horror love as a whole. Talking movies, video games, anything. FNAF is my favorite horror franchise, period, and it was the first one that I got into. But I will say something that Poppy Playtime does better than FNAF is pure, genuine horror and making the villains actually look scary. Because let's be honest, I mean, the FNAF animatronics, I mean, when they're put in the right setting and the right tone, they're a little off putting and a little like, uh, a little uneasy feeling or whatever. They look a little creepy, uncanny valley sort of, but they aren't just genuinely terrifying. Which I mean, that's kind of the case with Poppy Playtime characters too. But like these characters have a special way that they can look so friendly and so menacing at the same time. Like with Huggy, he looks all nice and friendly until he starts chasing you and his pupils get huge and he opens his mouth and has all those razor sharp teeth. Then he's pretty creepy looking. But yeah. Uh but anyways, all of that to say, so the prototype comes into the tea party and crashes it, and he picks up Poppy and breaks her face mask. I don't know what it's called, but he breaks her face. The porcelain of her face gets all cracked and stuff. And Kissy Missy, right when the prototype is about to attack us, the player, Kissy tears something in his stomach, and all of the catnap red poppy gas starts going out, and so they have a major fight scene, and we're now stuck in a chase with Lily, and so she chases us. This portion of the game is super difficult looking. I haven't actually played the game. I've just watched gameplay videos, but it looks extremely difficult. But whenever you do defeat her, you get one of the giant clouds hanging from the ceiling. It falls on top of her and crushes her. But I don't think she's actually fully dead yet, because one of her cardboard cutouts said, "Did you know that your hair keeps growing even after you die?" And the one thing sticking out from under the cloud that crushed her was her hair. So I think she might not be completely dead, or at least her hair isn't dead yet. But yeah, so we go through more chase scenes. We kill Lily, move on through the factory. Huggy appears and is about to attack us, but then he sees Kissy Missy, and this is something I and a lot of people have been waiting for, is for a Huggy and Kissy to finally reunite, and it would have been such a sweet scene if it weren't for the fact that the prototype comes out and kills them both. Or, I don't know if they're actually dead yet. I hope they aren't. I hope they aren't dead. I really want them to have more time together, but he at least severely injures both of them. And so we now have to get on this train because we're trying to escape, and the prototype is chasing us. Now Giblet and Poppy are already on the train, and they've started it. We just have to get up to the engine, but the prototype's chasing us and all this stuff. But we get up to the front of the train and then jump off as the crane crashes with the prototype on it. But that wasn't enough to stop the prototype. He gets up from the wreckage. We start to run away, but the prototype comes up, grabs the player, and stabs us through the chest and kidnaps Poppy. And he's dragging us away, and he puts us in this pink goo sort of thing that we've seen all throughout this chapter. Not entirely sure what it is, but I think he was trying to turn us into a toy. So he puts us in this pink goo, we pass out, and then we wake up, and Giblet is standing above us and said, "I didn't think I was going to be able to save you." It's unsure if we actually got turned into a toy or not. I kind of hope we did, because I feel like that would be a really cool narrative right there, that we actually got turned into a toy. But yeah, he saves us, and so we go to override the failsafe, because that's what we've been trying to do this whole chapter, is to override the failsafe for the prototype, and I think that's supposed to kill him or at least incapacitate him or something. But we go to do that. We're all sad because Huggy and Kissy are most likely dead. Poppy has been kidnapped by the prototype. But we go, we override the failsafe on this computer, and none other than the doctor arrives. The doctor is back. He appears on the screen. His little eye, I recognize that eye anywhere, and that voice anywhere. So the doctor isn't dead. He's still very much alive, and we might be teaming up with him for this next chapter or sequel or whatever is coming up after this. Because, like I said, we were under the impression that chapter 5 was it. This was the end. But it left off on a cliffhanger like that, and so we're either getting a chapter 6 or we're getting Poppy Playtime 2. But yeah, wow, there's so much to talk about with this. So many things that happened in this chapter, and I'm probably forgetting a lot of details. I tried to make notes on my phone. Like, I made notes on my phone of things to talk about in this video. You can't see it easily. But, and I'm sure I've still probably missed something because there was just so much crammed into this chapter. I thought chapter 3 and chapter 4 were huge compared to chapters 1 and 2. Chapter 5 is insane. So I can't wait to see where this series goes next. Again, this is my favorite horror franchise outside of FNAF. At least when it comes to video games. It's my favorite horror franchise outside of FNAF. But I'm super excited to see where this series goes. I'm honestly kind of glad that it's not over yet because we still get to have all this excitement for this amazing franchise. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. See ya.